Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Stewards review video for the 992 race at Portimao from Sunday. We'll jump straight into things and look at the incident reports that have been raised by others. And the first one is Callum Cripps and Sebastian Hertus. So let's run this one through. 2 seconds. Okay, find that one back. We'll have a look from Sebastian's perspective. Let's look from a different camera angle. So this literally just reminds me of something I seen. You know, on sim racing Facebook groups where people will post a video up and say, "Oh, who's at fault?" This is almost identical to one that was on there just like yesterday or the day before. It looks inviting, and it looks like you've been left a huge amount of space, and you have. But the problem is that we measure from the point that the driver turns in whether or not you're alongside enough, and this gap here is just always going to close. If you're not alongside, like significantly, as in wheel to wheel, rear wheel to front wheel, by the time the driver that you're challenging is turning, then you're not entitled to the space. Yeah, they call this like the triangle of doom, the vortex of doom. It's always going to close, and chucking one in there is never really going to end very well. And it's like carbon copy of the one that was on Facebook the other day. This is almost certainly on Sebastian, but I guarantee if you look from the onboard, it looks like he's further alongside than he actually is. But that's just a function of the fact that Callum's taking the normal racing line and is going out wide. And I mean, it'd be less problematic as well, maybe, if there'd not been a bit of a lock-up. But there is a bit of a lock-up. The apex is missed, and Sebastian goes into the side of Callum, spinning him round. So, yeah, there's a penalty coming there for Sebastian. Next one, so there's no more reported for race 1. So we'll go through the results file, see what we've got. Okay, first one. This is contact with an immovable object, but Tobias brought it on himself. However, what's really nice to see is that when Tobias locks up, you see the purple indicators on his dashboard all light up. When he locks up, he doesn't aim for the apex or do something else silly. He takes active measures to avoid the car in front and steers the correct way, as in away from them, and around the outside where there's no risk of hitting anyone. So whilst there's nothing to talk about here from terms of penalties or anything like that, it is nice to see someone taking proper evasive action rather than reactive turning for the apex evasive action. Nice job, Tobias. Next one is Alan Axon, Francesco Caravello. Hesitating there rather than capitalising. Also nice to see. Carlo Messina. No help there, I don't think, from anyone else. Smoke coming out over this. Oh, hang on. Was there some help? Let's have a look. Okay, so right. So Sebastian here, I think he's probably entitled to the space. Let's have a look. Carlo's turning. Is it? Hang on. Very slow. I think must be engine damage because there was smoke coming out, wasn't there? Yeah, we can see the smoke there. However, I need a better camera angle. Maybe this one. Let's look at Sebastian's car. So he's definitely not alongside at this point. He's just poking his nose in. Definitely got the overspeed, but Carlo's already turning in for the corner at this point. I mean, he's done well to see it coming. Probably anticipating it, given if he's got a bit of a speed delta, that slide would have helped. Seen the car coming up on the inside and given space. Looks like the car on the inside has carried more speed and is unable to avoid rushing out wide. Yeah, you can see the little catch of the steering there as he's rounding the corner. That's going to push you wide and into the other car. So if there'd been no contact, it would have been fine, because whilst he wasn't entitled to the space, Carlo gave the space, and that's just two drivers cooperating, and it's a sensible thing to do as well, because if you think about it, I think I've said it before, but whilst it might not be, you might be justified in closing the door. If it's going to wipe you out, what's the point? A protest might take some points off of that driver that took you out, but all your points are gone. So Carlo did the right thing there by leaving the space, even though he didn't necessarily have to. But Sebastian has once again got it wrong slightly and washed out wide into Carlo there, and the contact was made and Carlo's off and into the wall. So I think that's going to be another penalty for Sebastian. Yeah. Okay, what's next? Nicholas Barale. That's not one. That is the end of them for race one. So we'll jump out. Yeah, late sends are fine as long as the other driver cooperates and you don't get it wrong. And in both of those instances, unfortunately, Sebastian did. Okay, so we've got a reported one for this one, just the one. Fraser Hart against Chris Grevitt, 2203. Let's go with on Fraser. No, let's go with Chris. Oh, oh yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, it's a slam dunk one on Chris there. Obviously not intentional and not even doing a wild move or anything. Just lost it around the outside, and a couple of drivers get caught up in it. What was it Allen and Fraser? Yeah, they both fully impacted as well. Fraser was for sure. Okay. Yeah, unfortunate. These things happen. Okay, so jumping into the ones that have been raised by the sim. I'll go full screen. Nicholas Barale, contact with an immovable object. Has patience through there. Easy done, easy done. You know, it's unloaded on the crest, and they're not exactly the most stable at the rear at the best of times. These. Well, opening lap, yeah, cold tyres. Okay, next one. Sebastian Hertas, Danny Oliver. Not again. Sebastian. Can't put that move on, mate. Not entitled to the space. Any impact to Danny? Little bit compromised onto the straight. Driver behind gets a bit closer. Teammate, I think, though, so probably not at risk of an audacious attempt. But yeah, let's have a look. So I'll get a better view of it here. Yeah, another penalty there for Sebastian. Teamwork makes the dream work, eh? Okay, Carlo Messina and Samuel Newhouse. Carlo. So is Sam behind. No, Sam's in front. And Sam spins. Yeah, penalty for Sam there. You can't avoid, well, you can avoid, but what I mean is that no one intentionally loses control of the car and has an accident, but the person that loses control of the car is their responsibility. So, yeah, Carlo, innocent part here. There'll be a penalty there for Sam. What's next? Actually, let's just play this through. Let's just rear-end into the barrier. Okay, next one is Callum Cripps and Alejandro Capper. So no, there was nothing majorly in that. Little nudge going into the braking, and, you know, back tire and capitalise. Good sportsmanship. Okay, so yeah, that's all she wrote. That is the end of the Stewards report. Cheers, Porsche drivers, for yet another easy one. Catch you all in a couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye.